Do you feel pulled in too many directions during winter? Do you have the urge to snuggle up like a bear in hibernation? Do you feel fed by moments of reflection? Are you ready to build towards a brilliant spring? Traditionally, in winter, we're intended to do less. However, this is barely present in the dominant culture. Nowadays, we're asked to do more and to attend all these different holiday gatherings, end of year celebrations, and many people travel to see loved ones or go on winter vacations. Hi, I'm Bonnie Rose. I'm an energetic herbalist in San Francisco, California. I work with the physical and energetic bodies of my clients to support holistic well being for people to live deeply fulfilling and meaningful lives. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about well being in winter. In winter, if it were a time of day, it would be the night. And it's a time of going in, of being more still or quiet and staying put on focusing on a kind of smaller orbit of our energy. Maybe you've heard of like a phrase called no November, or you could do it in December. It's basically the idea that when you make less plans and politely decline events or other engagements, for the sake of just doing less and catching up on rest and relaxation, you're kind of feeding into the energy of the season. You can really do it any time of year, but I think it's really ideal to do in winter. And yet it's so hard to do. It's so hard in the tradition of cycles that we have in the dominant culture to really slow down. But this is what nature and the plants are doing and what we really want to be doing, because winter is a time to cut back on commitments and really kind of focus on like our inner worlds. We have this opportunity if we take the time for it, the way that the plants move down into their roots. Maybe they also have had seed production that are kind of like germinating in the cold winter nights. A lot of plants need this kind of stimulation. And by doing that, we are by doing similar work, we are resourcing ourselves and our future selves for the possibilities of what can come in the spring. It is said that people who spend time doing reflection, whether it's at the end of the day or at the end of the year, whatever time, even at the end of an event or a gathering, that those people have a greater chance of kind of learning from their experiences and improving their next pursuits. So this is something that I love to do, and I'm going to be offering a winter circle called Winter Night Seed, where we gather 4 evenings to offer each other community support, accountability for doing a lot of new practices within divination, dream work, herbalism, journaling, and ultimately building a personalized ritual to help us move inward. Because in the fall, as plant workers, if we're lucky enough to harvest roots, this is the time when roots are most potent and the energy is from the earth is like going down rather than going up to make flowers and leaves and all that. And so if we spend the time to really ground down and to really kind of sit with ourselves in these difficult days that are short and cold, and there's bitter cold wind and rain, and in some places snow. When we really kind of like let ourselves nurture our roots, we can really benefit a lot. Another theme, as I've mentioned, are the roots. Like the roots, if winter was a part of the plant, it could be a root, right? Roots are woody, they're fibrous, and they store a lot of energy for the plant in the winter because in a lot of places, right, the upper aerial parts can't stay alive. And it's only natural. Roots as medicine offer a lot of support to our bodies that support the lungs. There's roots that support the kidneys, roots that support connective tissues and our immune system and reduce inflammation, and really all body systems. There are roots that support us in herbal medicine. And rather than rushing around to go to all the holiday parties and visiting loved ones. Ideally, we would be more like roots in the winter. So staying put, hunkering down, spending some time being still, reflecting, dreaming, and getting ready for the next couple of seasons, spring and summer, and what it is that we want to do and create and how we want to be in the world. A few ways to honor the winter are the ways that plants teach us, right? Is like to set aside some time to go in. That mean journaling, drawing, painting, doing a favorite craft. I also love in winter to honor roots and eat them, enjoy them. I think about taking out my slow cooker and just thinking about how I use like radishes, turnips, making a stew with potatoes and parsnips, eating sweet potatoes, winter squash, favorite, like delicata, butternut, curry, red curry, kabocha, so many different delicious winter squashes. Like I mentioned, kindly saying no to invitations and things that don't feel necessary, and just kind of making that personal energy circle a little smaller. And building in intentional days for reflection, like a digital detox I love to do around winter solstice, or just a day or two with like no plans or no technology. And like I said, working with some of our roots, like we have ginger here and burdock, turmeric, echinacea, garlic, astragalus. These are all really helpful to do in the winter. According to the Chinese calendar, there are two common states of people kind of in winter. So an imbalance can be someone who is doing this reflective dreaming work, and out of balance, we are prone to fear. So fear is associated with the kidneys, and Foti is an herb that we can work with when appropriate to support the kidneys. I invite you, if you're interested, to go deeper with the plants, to shift out of fear, to dream bigger, to reflect and harvest your year, to consider joining the Circle Winter Night Seed. We start on Monday, December 15th, and I'll be holding the container. There'll be all these different modalities to work with and to try out from week to week. And ultimately, the goal is to craft a personalized ritual. It can be a morning ritual, an evening ritual, but basically something to help us move through these difficult winter days that have all these different aspects of difficulty. And I've seen it work. I work with private herbalism clients on these themes, but this is so nice because we get to do it in community and in a container, and there's this aspect of accountability that you know that we're going to see each other in a week, and that it helps people make the time to really do the practices that we're working with in dream interpretation, reflection, herbalism, divination, and so forth. So I'll leave you with a quote from a past participant who said, it felt like weekly cocoon energy, invitations to hold myself accountable. And also that another person said, getting to try new things each week was a favorite part. It gave me so much data about what works and what doesn't work for me right now. 2 years later, I'm still in touch with many of the participants from the first cohort, and they have shared with me that the development of their ritual has helped them for many seasons, and some continue to do their ritual to this day, 2 years later, which is really cool and awesome that it's so supportive. So that's all from me for now. If you're interested in going deeper with the herbs, if you want to support yourself in winter, there's a link to Winter Night Seed below, and I'd love to see you in the Winter Circle. Take care.